Hello and Minglawa, welcome to Myanmar Today. I am Henry Zin with the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. Dora Swezin brings us the first report on Memory of China, presenting the Chinese classical films. David Tanner's coverage on meeting with news and media industry for Unicode migration process. Dora Swezin again brings us another report on Chinese cultural event, A Moment We Share. Biedin has the story coverage on Rabies Prevention Awareness Seminar. Before we get to the reports, let's check on some local news. Union Minister for Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation Dr. Ang Thu met with agriculture sector officials of Mandalay and Sagaing regions at Mandalay Region Agriculture Department on Monday. At the meeting, the Union Minister spoke of the requirement for public servants to follow the laws, rules and regulations related to their work, conduct their work without biasness, impartially and transparently. Review own strengths and weaknesses, be supportive and cooperate with related departments, and aim toward fulfilling own duties and responsibilities. Innovation and systematic management is required to adapt to changing climate situation as agriculture, livestock and irrigation is dependent on the weather and climate. The Union Minister said difficulties and problems encountered were to be resolved according to farmland law and rules. Designated tender rules and financial management procedures were to be followed exactly. The research paper on the effects of employment opportunities for people living with disabilities was introduced at Royal Naypyidaw Hotel on Monday. Deputy Minister for Social Welfare, Relief and Resettlement, Uso Aung, delivered an address where he said they have already formed the National Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and successive working committees, each with their own assigned duties. The Deputy Minister said this research paper will be of invaluable assistance to the Working Committee's tasks, which includes ensuring PLWDs are given the same employment opportunities as everyone else and monitoring implementations, creating an obstacle-free work environment for PLWDs and raising their skill sets. The Deputy Minister said the assessments and suggestions in Section 6 of the paper have an effect on job opportunities for PLWDs. He said relevant ministries, businesses, organizations championing for persons with disabilities and PLWDs themselves can increase their participation in all related sectors. Union Minister for Transport and Communications U Tan Sin Maung presided over a coordination meeting for civil aviation sector, which was held at the headquarters of the Department of Civil Aviation in Yangon on Saturday. At the meeting, the Union Minister said flight schedules at the Yangon International Airport were delayed for 19 hours after a Y-8 military plane skidded off the runway. It roughly took about 2 hours to clear the way for similar cases in the past. However, the September 5th incident resulted in losses for airlines and passengers as 32 flights, 7 outbound and 25 inbound flights were cancelled. The Union Minister urged to investigate the costs that took some hours to remove the skidded plane from the runway and to prepare for the methods and machinery to address such problems in the future. He also suggested to upgrade the runway shoulders to reduce the incidents and to make systematic plans for minimal damages. And that's all with the local news, and we're moving on to our first report. Among film lovers of Myanmar, the Chinese series are also popular, especially around 1990s, was like the era of Chinese classical series. Old Chinese classical films such as Journey to the West, Romance of the Three Kingdoms are to be broadcasted again on Skynet channels and MITV entertainment channels. Dora Swezin reports.
Chinese classical films are brought back to the Myanmar audience. In around 1990s, Chinese classical films such as Journey to the West, Just Bao were really popular among Myanmar audience, and the collection of these famous Chinese series are to be aired again under the title Memory of China on Skynet and MITV entertainment channels starting from 14 September. The opening ceremony of Memory of China was held at Wyndham Grand Hotel on 14 September. The ceremony was attended by Chinese Ambassador to Myanmar, His Excellency Mr. Chen Hai, Chief Minister of Yangon Region Government U Pyo-min-tae, Yangon Region Rakhine Ethnic Affairs Minister U So-e-mao, Director General of Information and Public Relations Department U Ye-nai, President of Sri Lankan Media Free to Air, Donama Longsan, and invited guests.
တို့ရဲ့အိမ်ကြီးချင်းနိုင်ငံတွေရဲ့ယဉ်ကျေးမှုတွေအ It is important to understand the traditions and culture of the neighboring countries. It is because when we cooperate in political, business, and social aspects, the mutual understanding of the culture can enhance the stronger bond. We have both similar and different cultures. We have to understand the flow of others' culture to our country, as well as to strive to spread our culture to the world.
တရုတ်နိုင်ငံရဲ့ဓာတ်တော်ရုပ်ရှင်ကားတွေကိုပြည်သူလူထုသိရှိနိုင်ဖို့အတွက်ရုပ်သံဇာတ်လမ်းတွေ
By airing of Chinese classical movies in the TV channels for Myanmar people, it will make the bond of the people of the two countries closer. One of the most important aspects of our diplomatic relationship is the people-to-people exchange. The diplomatic relationship of our country and the People's Republic of China will be 70th year soon. It is important to mark the history of these 70 years and try to respect and understand the culture of the two countries.
一种是72般变化，你愿意学哪一种呢？师傅，弟子愿学多的，你就教我72般变化。
In Myanmar, the international series are really popular, as well as Myanmar series are being produced and are getting high interest by the audience. It can be expected that the Chinese series, which are going to be broadcasted again, will also gain the support and love of film lovers.
确实，缅甸历史悠久，文化灿烂，有着丰富的。
Myanmar is a country with rich and developed culture. In the past few years, the television system in Myanmar has been getting improved, especially get support by the youth. The coming year is a centenary of Myanmar film industry, so that we are to cooperate more for the television development sectors.
我相信有太平天省长这样积极致力于推动缅甸文化发展的。
I appreciate the collaboration and effort of Yangon Regional Government, Skynet and other organizations and the film lovers for the development of Myanmar movies. I believe that in the next few years, Myanmar film industry will develop more. I hope that more Myanmar series will be produced.
In the event, the original soundtracks of the films Journey to the West and Romance of Three Kingdoms were performed. One of the audiences cosplayed as Sun Wukong, and he said he was addicted to Chinese films since he was young.
This is the memorial event for the 90s born generation. These films will never get boring to watch. I hope that more Chinese films are to be aired again very often.
The films will be aired on Skynet War Drama Channel, Knowledge Channel, Asia Movie Channel, and MITV Entertainment Channel, with Myanmar subtitles or Myanmar voiceover. That's all for now. This is Dora Susan from MI Radio.
That's a report on Memory of China presenting the Chinese classical films. Stay with us. We have a report from David Tanner, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. An event for meeting with news and media industry for Unicode migration process was organized by Myanmar Computer Federation last week at Myanmar ICT Park. The meeting's purpose was to inform the news and media industry for the latest processes, progresses, and issues that the migration has been in the making at current circumstances. David Tanner has more.
Before going through some of the progressions of Unicode that has been made in Myanmar, let's dig in deep about what is Unicode and why is it so important. General knowledge time. For a computer to be able to store text and numbers that humans can understand, there needs to be a code that transform characters into numbers. The Unicode standard defines such as code by using character encoding. The reason why character encoding is so important is that every device can display the same information, which is crucial. With that being said, I've interviewed U Tao Sunye, the Secretary of Myanmar Commuter Federation MCF, for the summary of the event.
As we'll be changing Unicode standard font system nationwide on coming October 1st, we've been doing knowledge sharing by organizing events with its respected niche and industry regularly. Few weeks, we've been meeting with movies, music, the bin, business and telecommunications industries. For today, we'll be focusing on news, media, old print and of course digital as well. We'll be discussing mainly about the writing system as for convenience and fluency purpose while changing as a mass.
I've also asked for the progressions for the migration as well. Let's pick up for what he has to say.
We only have 3 weeks left until October 1st. But we have seen a lot of progressions going on in the public where they change and try to use Unicode. But still, of course, as we were still at the early stage of migration for the public ratio, we still have some difficulties which can't be read some of the texts sent by others. But it's not technological issues. These are the difficulties that will solve itself if we migrate fully to Unicode in national level.
What kind of technical difficulties we might be facing and how can we possibly solve some of the issues will also be discussed.
In the cases of technological issues, we have to take a look at the phones that we're using. For example, if the phone you use has been released past 2 years, it supports the Unicode system. But if you're having an issue with the phone in which the Unicode font system doesn't seem to be correct, even though you bought it only for 2 years, it's just that you have set the Zorji or other non-Unicode font as default. For that, you can easily change to Unicode by uninstalling the non-Unicode font system. But for the phone which has been used for more than 2 years and above, Unicode won't be installed as default. But most of the phones can be installed in every service center, which might only take like minimum 30 minutes to 1 hour depending on each phone that you're using.
In the event, we will also be hearing out a speech from the Deputy Minister for Information, U Aung Latun, for his perspective in migrating Unicode as standard font system.
We have a lot to change for to be in international standards. Unicode will be the first step for all the things that we need to be changing. For example, we should be changing the measurement standard system which the world has been using as the standard and which makes it easier for us to communicate and bond with international countries. For instance, gram, centimeters, ounce should be our standard measurement system as most of the countries have changed and adapted. For all of those to be accomplished, we need all the industry to come together and work this out together. Of course, the media plays the biggest role in this issue. To inform all the people about the change, this change will be start of everything which will come later, hopefully.
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on meeting with news and media industry for Unicode migration process. And here's the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. One US dollar is at 1,531 kyats. One Chinese renminbi is at 216 kyats. One euro is at 1,693 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,903 kyats. One Singapore dollar is at 1,115 kyats. One Malaysian ringgit is at 367 kyats. One Thai baht is at 50 kyats. And the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,500. Silver is at $17. And Brent crude oil is at $61. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI remains at 11,500. MTSH remains at 4,500. MCB remains at 8,200. FPB went up 1,000 at 26,000. TMH dropped 50 at 3,000. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. Go ahead and log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and listen to our radio programs live on the website. If you're on FM, tune into 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Or you can simply download MI Radio app on both iOS and Android devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. No hassle, it's easy. And here I have more reports for you, so let's check out the next one. As the welcoming event of Chinese Mid-Autumn Festival, an event called A Moment We Share took place from 11th to the 15th of September in Yangon and in Mandalay. There were cultural performances, tangible and intangible heritage, and food exhibition during the event. Loda Susan has the story.
To welcome the Mid-Autumn Festival of China, which is to fall soon, the event sharing cultural performances, tangible and intangible heritage, and food exhibition called A Moment We Share kicks off from 11 to 15 September in Yangon and Mandalay. It is organized by China Cultural Center in Yangon, Lincheng City Department of Culture and Tourism of Yunnan Province, and Myanmar Chinese Cooperation and Communication Center, with the support of the Ministry of Religious Affairs and Culture of Myanmar and Chinese Embassy in Myanmar. The co-organizers of the event are Myanmar Theatrical Organization, Myanmar China Friendship Association, and Myanmar China Culture Association.
The Mid-Autumn Festival is one of the important festivals of Chinese culture. Most of the countries are holding the welcoming events of this festival. The purpose of organizing this welcoming event in Myanmar is that Myanmar people will get to know more and understand about the tradition and culture of China. We are to display the tangible and intangible heritage and signature food of the festival, mooncake, and other food exhibition. On September 12th, our artists will go to the National University of Arts and Culture Yangon to perform. After that, the welcoming event will kick off in Mandalay as well. The events showcasing here are from Lincheng, city of Yunnan province, and the food is directly imported from Yunnan. The performers are also invited from China.
Lincheng City is the place where Myanmar ethnics and Chinese people are living together peacefully. The performers of the event, A Moment We Share, are to perform with Chinese and Myanmar traditional theme. Two artists from Myanmar Theatrical Organization joined the event before going to China for ASEAN China Theatrical Week.
Under the
management of Myanmar Theatrical Organization, 18 representative artists from Myanmar are to join ASEAN China Theatrical Week in Nanning of China. This will be our second time to join it. It is the way of enhancing the relationship of the two countries by showcasing their traditional performances and heritage, and we are proud that our organization could join this event to show our valuable and lovely Myanmar tradition.
Myanmar and China share the long boundary, and we have established our diplomatic relations since 1950. So it will be 70th year of diplomatic relations of the two countries and next year. So the strong cultural bond has been established. Moreover, we have similar culture such as festivals. For the people to people exchange, culture is the basis. Cultural exchange is the best way of bilateral relationship.
인재무 센터 의 유해체소이야 대륙나이간မြန်မာနိုင်ငံပေါ့ 인재무
The vision of our center is to enhance the cultural relationship and cooperation between Myanmar and China. And we can see in this event, both Myanmar traditional artists and Chinese performers are celebrating together. Through this cultural exchange event, the mutual understanding of these two countries will get better for the future bilateral relationship.
That's all for now. This is Dora Suizin from MI Radio.
That's a report on Chinese cultural event, A Moment We Share. Well, here's the last report on Rabies Prevention Awareness Seminar. A seminar on rabies prevention awareness was organized in North Dagon with the help of Yangon City Development Committee on September 7th. Yangon Deputy Mayor, officials from Township Development Committee and medical experts joined the seminar. Let's find out more from Pie Thane, who brings us the report on how YCDC is carrying out preventive measures for dog bites, birth control and vaccination plan for stray dogs, setting up dog shelters in some townships.
With the help of YCDC, a seminar on rabies prevention awareness was organized at BHS3 in North Dagon on last Saturday. Professor Dr. Dintinji from Naypyidaw 1000-bedded General Hospital and Professor Dr. Nampyu Aung, a consultant in National Guidelines Planning Team for Human Rabies Prophylaxis, were among the speakers. During his opening remark, the Deputy Mayor of Yangon, Woo So-luen, also said how YCDC is making efforts to prevent rabies dog bites. Woo So-luen, Yangon Deputy Mayor, said,
This seminar is aiming to give awareness and education of rabies, preventive measures between the students. For some, they don't know yet what rabies is, so we invite professors and experts here to share the knowledge. Here in Yangon, in an effort to reduce the infection impact, we do practical measures like stray dog population control as well as their birth control. The primary aim is to prevent the infected dog bites and reduce their population. And for the victim, there may be a high chance of being bitten again. So, do not forget to inform YCDC if you encounter or see such cases. Our team will definitely catch the dogs. But for now, as it's impossible to catch or eradicate them all, it's necessary to receive rabies vaccine. You should also be careful of the cats. They are also the source of human rabies, that they have the virus. That's why if you have pets, they need vaccines too. You also require to inform about it to YCDC. Besides, they need a systematic registration for more accountability. It can also be a great help for our team in the controlling process.
During the seminar, Dr. Nampyu Aung also shared her great experience on the detailed symptoms and post-exposure prophylaxis actions. By interviewing an official from Township Development Committee, we have learned that plans are carrying out to reduce dangerous street dog population, their registration process, and what is more, with the support of animal lovers, they bring out vaccine plan to the street dogs. Woo So-aung, member of North Dagon Township Development Committee, said,
We launched a plan to give vaccine to street dogs in the township. More importantly, we call for pet dog to register. That plan is almost done in all wards in the township. Only 2 more left now. We don't have specific funding for the plan, but a humanitarian move as first step. We launched stray dog population control program and work together with YCTC. And the vet team and animal lover teams have also joined for canine vaccination project.
One of the animal lover teams from North Dagon Township who actively participated in the project also said,
Our team is actively involved in canine vaccination program in the township. Working together with Township Development Committee, we give vaccines to stray dogs, residential ward by ward. And we want to continue the program from our township to the city-wide with the introduction of birth control and vaccination program for the dogs. We want the dogs to stay where they are. As far as I know, dog poisoning plan is a total failure. Most importantly, we call for dog owners to cooperate with us via a systematic registration process. And we strongly condemn the act of feeding the dogs on the streets, which can do harm to the health, as well as can lead to environmental pollution.
At the moment, Yangon City Development Committee also set up the shelters for stray dogs in some townships. The committee has been initiating dog registration plan. Through the process, about 10,000 dogs have been registered. The seminar on rabies prevention awareness held at North Dagon was also attended by Yangon Deputy Mayor Oh So Luen and the chairman of North Dagon Township Development Committee, other officials, and students.
That's all the reports we have for today. Well, we have a few more international news in the newsroom, so let's see what we have here. It's the most powerful greenhouse gas known to humanity, and emissions have risen rapidly in recent years. Sulfur hexafluoride, or SF6, is widely used in the electrical industry to prevent short circuits and accidents. But leaks of the little-known gas in the UK and the rest of the EU in 2017 were the equivalent of putting an extra 1.3 million cars on the road. Levels are rising as unintended consequence of the green energy boom. Cheap and non-flammable, SF6 is a colorless, odorless synthetic gas. It makes a hugely effective insulating material for medium and high-voltage electrical installations. It is widely used across the industry, from large power stations to wind turbines to electrical substations in towns and cities. It prevents electrical accidents and fires. However, the significant downside to using the gas is that it has the highest global warming potential of any known substance. It is 23,500 times more warming than carbon dioxide. Just 1 kilogram of SF6 warms the Earth to the same extent as 24 people flying from London to New York and return. It also persists in the atmosphere for a long time, warming the Earth for at least 1,000 years. In other news, scientists say the ozone hole over Antarctica this year could be one of the smallest seen in 3 decades. Observations of the gaseous depletion high in the atmosphere demonstrate that it hasn't opened up in 2019 in the way it normally does. The EU's Copernicus Atmosphere Monitoring Service, otherwise known as CAMS, says it's currently well under half the area usually seen in mid-September. The hole is also off-center and far from the pole. CAMS experts who are based in Reading, UK, are projecting stable levels of ozone or a modest increase in the coming days. Ozone is a molecule that is composed of 3 oxygen atoms. It is responsible for filtering out harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun. The gas is constantly being made and destroyed in the stratosphere, about 20 to 30 kilometers above the Earth. Well, that's all we have on Myanmar Today. Catch the show on MITV every evening, Monday to Friday at 8:30. You can also join me on MI Radio from 7:30 a.m. to 8 a.m., 1 to 1:30 p.m., and from 7:30 to 8 in the evening. Don't forget to drop your comments and messages on our Facebook posts. We'll be back with more news and reports. Thank you for joining us. I am Henry Zin. Have a great day, everyone.